back on Lowcountry Money Talk, and if you're just tuning in, this is actually a great time to tune in. It's a great episode. We're talking about, of course, taxes in retirement. Phil Bloyd with Revolutionary Financial Group has a lot to say on the topic. In fact, we're doing some myth busting today.
Yes, I like it.
Let's keep going. We've got some more myths to bust.
Sure.
So, when we're working, we feel like we're already paying for Social Security, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this FICA taking all my money out of my check, right?
Right.
Well, we know what that goes to. So I think one thing that we assume going into retirement, at least I know I'm in this camp, is that I'm not going to have to then pay later for Social Security, but that might not be the case.
Right.
So walk us through that.
So a lot of times, Jessa, people are confused about taxation of Social Security. They're like, well, if I'm taking Social Security and I still work and I exceed a certain income, then Social Security is reduced or taken back or whatever. That's different. What I'm talking about is your monthly benefit that you're receiving. There's guidelines on how much of that can be taxable based upon your income.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And one of those categories is it's based upon whether you're single or whether you're married filing joint.
Okay.
There's two different levels there. But when your Social Security is taxable, up to 50% or 85% may be taxable.
Okay.
And it's taxable as ordinary income.
Wow.
Okay, so we're talking about the myth of deferring, all of these taxes till later,
Right.
because we're going to be in a lower tax bracket. Well, were we taking into account when we were thinking about that the withdrawals from these deferred accounts are the leading cause of my Social Security being taxed?
Oh, because you have to count it as income, so
Right.
it's taxable, which could put you in a bracket that taxes then your Social Security.
If I'm receiving,
It all comes together.
if I'm receiving jointly like $40,000 a year and Social Security income, and up to 85% of it's taxable, right? You can do the math on that, over 30-some thousand. And when that goes in, it's taxed as ordinary income at my highest income rate.
Right.
So if my highest income tax rate is 22%, then 85% of my Social Security will be taxed at 22%. Well, now I'm looking at this deferred money that I put away. Okay, remember it's deferred taxes.
Right. You're not avoiding them.
Not tax savings.
You're just doing it later.
And as I start taking those monies out of these deferred accounts, now my Social Security is taxable. So am I really in this lower bracket that I thought that I was creating years ago?
Well, you already mentioned you lost the deductions for kids,
Right.
and you may or may
Mortgage
not have
interest,
a
too.
spouse that is included in that. And let's talk about that a little bit too, if we have time.
Yeah.
About for those who don't have a spouse or no longer have a spouse, which of course can happen
Sure.
as you age.
Right. So let's say, I'm married 35 years so far, and I'm married, let's go another 20 years into that, Okay, so another 20 years into that. So I am producing a married filing joint tax return. I pass away, now my wife is considered single. So what happens to those single tax brackets?
It goes up.
They're higher.
Yeah.
I'm paying more taxes at lower income. So now my IRA will be transferred to my spouse. She still has to make withdrawals out of my IRA
Right.
and her own IRA. And then she takes the largest of the two Social Securities. She's probably paying just as much or more taxes, than what I was paying, because now it's considered she's considered single. There's no widow rate, so she's considered single.
Right.
And she's going to pay the single rate.
That's amazing. And all of these things that we don't necessarily plan for when we're working towards retirement.
Right.
So this is really important, because this is a good time to address for our viewers, how can you avoid this? How can you have a plan going into retirement where you're giving yourself the best possible tax picture and planning for that? So you actually have a report for this at Revolutionary Financial Group called the Revolutionary Wealth Review. I highly recommend doing this, because you are actually going to sit down with folks and show them these pitfalls. Where are you losing money in paying too much in taxes, or you're about to be, and how this can all affect you in the future, and actually plan for this. So you don't have to know all these. They can walk you through this. And the way that you do that is you call the office, you're going to talk to Rachel, she'll set you up. If you have $500,000 or more in investable assets, they can do this just complimentary and just at least give you a path and show you what you could be missing out on. So I think that's so important.
Right.
You know, there's more myths.
There's more coming.
Will you stay with us? We have more myth busting to do on Lowcountry Money Talk.